Today is all about taking cheap plastic plant pot and giving them a high-end makeover so that we can use them for outdoor use. We're going to go over 5 different painting techniques for 5 totally different looks. Plus, I've heard it's going to rain cats and dogs, so we're going to test these outdoor pots by leaving them outside. Time to get our DIY on. For this DIY, we're going to give a cheap dollar store plastic pot and give it a whole new faux stone look using nothing but paint. So to start off this DIY, you're just going to need any plastic pot that has a bit of decorative detail to it, and preferably one with a nice big chunky rim. This will give it a much more realistic look in the end. Now I have some old Rust-Oleum chalk paint in white that really needs to be used up, so I just went in with that and gave the whole plastic pot a nice thick covering coat of paint. And then once you've done that, you just want to let it dry overnight. The following day, you're just going to want to go in again with that white chalk paint and give the whole thing a second coat and let that dry slightly, not completely. Because in order to give this pot a faux stone look, we're going to add to that white chalk paint some folk art chalk paint in French linen. To do this, you're just going to need a nice thick stenciling brush, and you're going to lightly apply that French linen, in some areas darker, other areas lighter, and you're just going to pounce this on, kind of like you're stippling on your makeup foundation, all over that plastic pot. And because the white chalk paint is still slightly damp, it will just help to blend it all together. Next, you're going to want to go in with a light blue grayish color. I chose Craft Smart's chalk paint in Blue Dusk, and again, using a stenciling brush, you're just going to want to pounce that all over the pot, giving it a bunch of dimension. Let the paint tell you where it wants to go. In some areas, you're going to want to apply it thicker, in other areas thinner. In some areas you're going to want that original French linen to show through, even a little bit of the white underneath. Just keep blending these back and forth using the 2 different colors to just create a faux stone look that you're happy with. Now to get that decorative detailing to really pop, we're going to go in with a little bit of Art Mind's chalk paint in Onyx, and we're just going to add this to give it a bit more dimension. It's best to do this with a small dry paintbrush in long strokes. And then again, using that stippling brush with some of that French linen on it, but just a little bit, you're going to want to use that to blend that black paint in with the rest, letting that decorative detailing really stand out. And because this is a pot that's going to be outside, you're going to want to go in with some Rust-Oleum matte finishing spray and give it 2 nice coats. And make sure you stay around to the end when we check out how these pots fare after 2 days worth of rain. For this plant pot, I was going for a faux mossy look. So all we're going to need is an inexpensive terracotta pot from the dollar store and a little help from our kitchen. The terracotta bases at the dollar store are often not glazed, so to do this, we're just going to use some Rust-Oleum clear top coat, and using a paintbrush, we're just going to apply a couple of coats of this top coat to the inside part of the terracotta pot base. And while that's drying, we're just going to use some white chalk paint that's been diluted with water and give the terracotta pot a whitewash, but not completely. You're wanting this to look like the paint has over time kind of washed away from the pot. So work in smaller sections, apply the paint, and then going in with a slightly damp rag, wet distress the paint, giving it a worn look. Now because this is a pot that's going to be used outdoors, I strongly recommend you use the outdoor Mod Podge as opposed to the regular kind. You're also going to want some dried ground up sage. Now I have a ton of this stuff because I grow it in my garden every year, and then I just keep it in this baggie to do DIYs with. And using a stenciling brush, you're going to want to apply some of that Mod Podge in different areas over your pot, concentrating mostly in areas that you think moss would form, so like along the bottom, the rim. Basically, just let your imagination do the work.
Working in smaller patches, you're going to apply that decoupage and then put the sage on top, pressing it down so that it really adheres to the glue. And make sure that you're not just doing the pot, but that you also take the time to do that base. And once you have that moss placed wherever you want it, you're just going to want to let that dry overnight and then go in with a nice soft paintbrush and lightly wipe away any of the excess that didn't stick. Next, using a small fan brush and more of that decoupage, just go in different areas where you think you would like it to be a bit darker. And then grab yourself some cinnamon. I have this huge club-sized one in my craft room at all times, and you're just going to want to sprinkle this onto those places where you placed your Mod Podge. And then you're just going to want to tap off any of that extra cinnamon that didn't stick to the Mod Podge. And then to finish everything off, you're just going to go in again with that Rust-Oleum finishing spray and give everything a couple of coats. I'd also concentrate a bit more of that finishing spray on the mossy parts just to make sure everything adheres. And here's the finished look. Make sure you tell us what you think in the comments below, and if you like what you've seen so far, make sure you give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, maybe consider doing so.
For this DIY, we're going to use a plastic plant pot that I found on the side of the road, and we're going to give it a rusty makeover that's sort of reminiscent of finding in like a country garden in France.
I chose to do this painting technique on this specific pot because of its detailing. To start this DIY, all you're going to need is some white chalk paint, and you're going to want to give that entire pot a smooth coat of paint. You could use chalk spray paint for this step if you prefer, and then let it dry overnight. Once completely dry, you're going to want to go in again with a little bit more of that white chalk paint and give the whole thing a second coat. I found that this covered it well enough, but if needed, you could always add a third coat. You're going to need to get yourself some copper chalk paint. I'm just using this one from Art Mines. Using a paintbrush, you're just going to want to apply that copper chalk paint on top of the white chalk paint, especially focusing on those areas where the design creates indents. Then go in with a damp rag and wipe away the copper paint, leaving it mostly in the indents. So once that copper chalk paint has had a chance to dry, go back in with a bit more of that white chalk paint and paint any of those raised areas. That's had a chance to dry, go back in with a fan brush and a bit more of that copper paint and apply it to any areas that are really indented. And then again with a damp rag, wipe away any of the excess so that it stays within the cracks. Now you really want those raised areas to be lighter, so although this step is a bit tedious, go back in with that white chalk paint and focus again on any of the raised areas so that they really pop. And again, using that Rust-Oleum finishing spray, coat the thing with a nice steady stream at least twice, letting it dry completely in between coats. Et voila!
Okay, this next makeover is a Pottery Barn inspired one. I actually wanted to do this last year when I did my Pottery Barn inspired dupe video, which I'll link here. And since I didn't do it in that last video, I thought we would give it a try this time.
For this DIY, I'm using a large plastic plant pot from Walmart. And using a large paintbrush, I'm going to give the entire pot a coat of white chalk paint, creating as much texture as possible. And once that's had a chance to dry, I'm going to go back in with more chalk paint and give it a second coat, creating tons of texture. Just like in the first DIY we did, you're going to need a chalk paint that is a bluey gray color, and then using a stippling brush, you're just going to want to apply that color in random patterns around the pot. Next, you're going to need a light beige color. I'm using French linen from Faux. Using a stippling brush, you're going to use this color to lighten up your first color and to give it just a bit more interest. Now, I realize this next step may sound a bit counterproductive, but stick with me. You're going to need a black chalk paint and a small paintbrush, and you're just going to apply that lightly over top of the first two colors. Then using that stippling brush with the lighter color, blend that black color in with the other two colors, lightening the whole thing up and just creating faux stone look. look. Now you're going to need some sand. I have 3 sands here, one from Cancun, one from Bermuda, and one from Michael's. But really, I'm just having some fun. All you're going to need is a bag of coarse sand. And because I'm using some really old Rust-Oleum chalk paint that just needs to get used up, I'm just going to mix this right into the can, but you might want to do this in a separate cup. And then you're just going to mix the sand with the paint together until you get sort of this gloopy, thick paste. Now I'm using an old wax brush, but basically you just need a large paintbrush to apply this salt paint to the entire pot, avoiding any of your painted gray areas. To get close to those areas, use one of your smaller stippling brushes and then get as close as you can and even a little bit over so it looks like the gray paint is underneath the sand paint. And we're going to be using some more of that copper chalk paint that we used in the last DIY. And with a small paintbrush, just apply this in little areas around the pot, either with dots or lines, and then go in with that light gray color again and the stippling brush and blend that copper paint in. If you want to lighten that up even further and add a bit more texture, just use your small stippling brush with a bit of that sand paint and apply it lightly on top and around. And once again, we're going to head on outside and give that entire pot 2 coats of that top spray. And there's the finished look. What do you think? Does it look like the Pottery Barn one?
This time we're going to try and use a little bit of stucco patch to create a faux aged terracotta pot look. I wasn't exactly sure how this one was going to turn out. I've never used stucco patch before to do this, so we're going to learn together.
I had this old faux terracotta plastic pot, and that's what we're going to use for the base. Now the instructions say wear gloves, but I got locked out of the garage, so I didn't have any, but I promise I was careful. It also said to mix 1 part water to 7 part stucco patch until you form a paste. Now I know this is unorthodox, but I had some terracotta colored chalk paint that I got from Amazon, and I decided that I was going to add this color to the stucco patch and then just stir it in, sort of like I was making a marble cake. I didn't want all of the stucco patch to be the orange color. I wanted variations in the color. And then using a paintbrush, I just sort of patted the stucco patch onto the pot. It takes a while to kind of get used to this, but after a while, you'll find that you just develop a technique that makes this part a little easier. Go thicker in some areas, smooth out other areas. You don't want to have this be perfection. You're looking for this to look really aged and weather worn. Now again, I didn't have gloves, so I used a Ziploc bag, but using gloves, pat everything down nice and firmly once you have it all applied. Now once that stucco had been left to dry overnight, it actually came out fairly one-dimensional, even with the variations in the color. So to add a bit more interest, we're just going to go in with a bit more of that terracotta chalk paint and some antiquing wax, and with a stippling brush, we're going to apply both those colors, blending them together to create different shadows and higher point, lighter colors until you just get an aged look that you're happy with. And then again, finishing off with that Rust-Oleum matte finishing spray. And here's the final look. Okay, so these have been left out in the pouring rain. You can actually see in there. Look how much water's in that. These guys are soaked. Absolutely soaked. And yet, they look just as good as they did yesterday.
If you enjoyed that, make sure you subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. If you hit the notification bell, it'll let you know the next time I upload. Oh, and you might enjoy these.